Hey, man, I just want to say thanks to you because you always ask the questions that we want to ask as fans. And it's kind of weird because sometimes people won't do it. Like sometimes we want somebody to ask Kyle that hard question
Yeah.
and force him to answer
Yeah.
instead of dance around it, just dipping and diving. It's like, nobody wants to deal with that. The other thing I will say is,
Real quick, I want to stick with that because it's I've thought about that a lot, and my
yeah,
dad had no problem asking pointed questions. I mean, newspaper journalists in the past, 80s, 90s had no problem, but now it seems like most journalists feel more concerned about their relationship with the coach than their relationship with the fans. So if the fans say, I feel this way, I'm angry, I need you to ask these questions and get answers, I think most journalists are thinking, well, I don't want the head coach to dislike me because I got to work with him as long as he's here. So you only see journalists get bold if they feel like the guy's about to get fired. If the guy's about to get fired, then everyone's asking tough questions. But until then, they're like, man, I got to work with this guy. So that's part of it. And I don't really care that I got to work with him. Just saying.
no,
All right.
man, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you because I
Yeah.
be seeing you sometimes. You'll say
It's a
stuff and
business
you'll
decision,
ask questions, and it's
Yeah.
like it is what it is. Some people may not care for it, but me personally, I love it. The other thing that I was gonna say
The
is,
other thing about it really is that Kyle hates it. He really doesn't like being
oh,
questioned.
I know, I can
He's
see
so
it on his
like
face.
quick to criticize, to be like to keep it real with his players.
Mhm.
This guy, he wasn't perfect. And this, hey Kyle, what about what you did today? How do you think you coached today? He looked at you like, what are you? How dare you ask me
Like,
that?
are you serious?
How dare you ask? I was great. That kills me about Kyle. Anyway,
The funniest thing is like when you watch the pressers and you see body language when questions are asked, like you look and you like, okay, yeah, this person's like when we first drafted Trey, Jimmy was visibly bothered because all he heard was Trey, Trey, Trey. And he was looking, I'm pretty sure in his mind, Jimmy was like, if y'all don't stop asking me questions about this MFer, I ain't got
yeah,
time to deal with this, man. I got a team lead, okay?
yeah,
But the thing that I wanted to get to was I respect the last person that was just on. I respect you, Chewy. But
yeah.
bro, why are you trying to rip the team apart? What are you doing talking about trading Kittle and trading Warner? And bro, slow down a little bit, Brent. Slow down. I get it. I understand it. We sometimes there are outlandish things, but let's bring it down a little bit, okay?
I
Not
was
not
hoping you on
not
Warner.
Kittle
That
and
would
not
kind of
not
that would be
not
tough.
Warner,
But what about Kittle? Kittle's interesting to me in the sense that they stopped giving him the ball. He's very expensive. He's had some injuries. He's very close friends with Jimmy Garoppolo. How they got to work this out with Kittle? They either have to start getting him the ball again, or explain to me. I don't know. Kittle's weird. What's
Here's the
going on?
thing.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you this. This is what you got to do. You got to give them the ball again. The reason
yeah,
being is because you cannot pay someone that kind of money and they're not catching passes. I
yeah,
think for me, I think that George Kittle is the best all around tight end in the league. He can
yeah.
block, he can catch. Sometimes it's almost like having an extra offensive lineman on the line. But the issue is when you phase him out like he did toward the end of the season,
Yeah.
you start looking at those numbers and going, why are we paying him so much money if there's nothing being done? But
They
then you
phased him
start to
out.
look at,
They fired his position coach. Like, what is going on between Kittle and the Niners? I just want to know. Maybe
yeah,
nothing. But I feel like the fact that they couldn't get him more than 2 catches in the NFC Championship, like, what is the deal there?
oh my gosh, I didn't understand any of it. And I understand that people start to, try to double him and this and that. But look, Jimmy would throw the Kittle if he was quadruple covered. So I have no idea why we're
They
not
can get the ball to
doing
Debo
those
and
things.
Ayuk, but they can't get the ball to Kittle anymore. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not good at all. One of the things that I wanted to ask was I'm a little nervous because unfortunately we get lied to a lot. Okay. I don't trust Kyle when he tells me certain things because I know he'll lie to my face and not think twice about it because I'm just a fan.
Say
My
part of
thing
the
is,
truth, not the whole truth, though. Part of the truth. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Kyle
That's
look,
how he does it.
Kyle treats the fans like we're his side chicks. And he's like,
Oh,
look, man, I'm gonna tell you what I need you to
he'd
know.
be like, "Hey, man, I'm at the grocery store right now. I mean, don't be walking up on me. My
Right?
wife's right
Look,
there.
how many
I'm
times
at
have I
the
told you to
grocery
act like
store.
you don't know me? All right. We in
Don't be
public.
walking up on me at my kids' soccer games, man. I will
This is
call you."
that is for real, bro. But like my thing is, from what you know, because I trust you, and I wanted to give you another piece of credit because you called the Kittle contract before anyone else did.
I got lucky.
Um, and from what you know and what you hear, is Jimmy really gone? because I can't trust the fact that they're really moving on. Like, I'm scared. I don't know if they're gonna really do it.
All right,
And
let me put it like this. I don't have any inside information. This is how I'm going to say. I'm going to put it like this. I think he wants
okay,
out. I think the Niners want him out. Here's the thing, though. It depends on the market. If the Niners' best offer is a late third from Pittsburgh, will they take it? Because it looks bad. It looks like you lost. It looks like his value went down. You might get some bad press. Would the Niners say, you know what? We're just going to keep him rather than take the hit? I don't know. I would hope not.
Yeah, my thing is the cap hit. It's too much money, and I don't need it to be another year. My honestly, I say this all the time. I feel like we could have went 10-7 with Trey. I have no reason to believe that we would have done worse than that
You could have went
because
10-7 with Nate Sudfeld. It was all about Debo anyway.
yeah, like these are things that are obvious to me. There's a lot of Jimmy fans out there. People hate me because I'm not a Jimmy fan. I don't like him. And after him, his inconsistencies and his injuries and stuff, I was just like, look, man, it's time to move on. And people were like, oh my God, he just wins. And I'm sitting there like, have you seen his playoff record? Have you seen his throwing numbers? The man was along for the ride in the playoffs. Okay. So don't tell me that he just wins.
Were
And
there people
quarterback
in New
stats.
York 10, 15 years ago talking that way about Mark Sanchez when he was young? He just wins. Like, dude.
Hey, and everybody knows that New York Jets defense was solid. Okay. It's just like when Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl. We know the Ravens defense did that. It had nothing to do with Trent Dilfer, but it is what it is. For me, personally, we got a lot of people in the offseason. So we have no Coach Hightower. We have no Coach Embry. We just hired Anthony Lynn, which I have it on good authority from a buddy of mine who's a diehard Charger fan. This is a perfect hire, and our run game should be way more dynamic. And then, for me, to be honest with you, we need to figure out what this DB situation is because we literally are rolling into next year with Emmanuel Mosley, Diamador Lenore, and Ambry Thomas. And those are our three starters, and we have no one else. So,
So they better make sure they get someone else to compete.
The scary part about it is the free agent market is where we don't dip into. Like, we don't go to free agency for anything. And that I don't understand why. But, I think we haven't dipped into free agency since Scott McClugan was around. And we know how long that was.
It's true. So, I think it's probably a Parag Mara thing.
Yeah. Because, hey, he's a wizard with those contracts, man. But, I just don't know. So I'm those are some of the things in the offseason we got to focus on. That's going to be a little scary. But, I just wanted to stop in and say hello and say thank you for asking those hard questions that we want asked, because there's lots of times where we as fans, all we can do is sit here and speculate because we don't get the truth out of anyone. And I get it to an extent. The only other thing I'll say is, Kyle, if you ever watch Grant Cohn and you hear me, please just name Trey the starter once Jimmy is out of here. Don't do this back and forth and this competition and all this up, down, in. And we don't need all this crap, man. Give that young man the confidence to know that you're standing behind him fully so we don't have to deal with this back and forth. The games of, we don't know who's going to start until Sunday. Come on, man. We all knew what the hell you were doing. Nobody was dumb enough to think you were going to go elsewhere. But we just want to be able – I personally want to be able to move forward with Trey Lance and see what we have in this young kid. And I feel like next year we should be able to continue to flourish. I went to the Arizona game. I thought that was a really bad game plan by Kyle. I felt like that was like a college-style offense that he gave Trey. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of confusing. Like, why are you what's going on here? Why is he running like 50 times a game? Like, this doesn't make sense. So for me, just continue to progress and get behind him, so the franchise can get behind him. And I want everybody on the squad to jump behind Trey just like they jumped behind Jimmy, even knowing he didn't do much of anything. The only time that man ever showed up in the playoffs was his previous game because he had the only 2 touchdowns that we had. And for me, let's move on. Let's move forward. Let's, take the franchise to another level. Continue to do what you do, man. You are great at it. I appreciate you for what you do. I know a lot of people have negative things to say about you, but I like you, man. And the other thing is, I know you're a hip-hop head, man, so I can appreciate that.
All right, man. Great call. Call in anytime.